It feels like in software development, things are always changing so fast. It's like warp speed. And keeping up with testing, oh, forget about it. But what if there was a way to make testing not just faster, but like smarter too? Well, that's where generative AI comes in. I mean, we're talking about a complete paradigm shift in how we approach quality assurance. So buckle up because in this deep dive, we're going to explore how generative AI is revolutionizing the world of software testing. We've got a whole stack of research articles, some industry reports, even a few case studies, all pointing to some pretty amazing possibilities. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, okay, another AI buzzword, but trust me on this one. This is not just hype. We're talking about AI that can analyze code, predict potential bugs before they even surface, and even generate thousands of test cases, covering scenarios that human testers might never even think of. To help me break it all down, I've got a true expert in the field with me. So let's just jump right in. What's the one thing that makes generative AI so groundbreaking in the context of software testing?
I think it's the ability to shift our focus from reactive bug fixing to proactive defect prevention. Think about it. Traditional testing is like trying to catch a leak after the dam is already broken. But generative AI is like building a dam so strong that it never leaks in the first place.
Okay, I like that analogy. So how does this actually play out in a real-world development environment? I mean, we're all familiar with Agile and DevOps, where speed and efficiency are paramount.
Okay, so imagine this. A developer pushes a code commit, and instantly an AI engine kicks in, automatically generating a comprehensive suite of unit tests based on the code changes. But it's not just about speed, though. This AI can analyze past bugs, identify patterns, and create tests that target those specific areas, leading to much more robust and reliable software.
So it's like having an AI teammate, constantly working in the background to make sure every line of code is thoroughly tested. It's almost too good to be true. Are there any downsides to all this automation?
Of course. With any new technology, there are always challenges. One of the big ones is data dependency. The AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. If you feed it biased or incomplete data, you'll get skewed results and potentially miss critical defects.
That makes sense. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. So it's not a matter of simply plugging in an AI and calling it a day. You need a solid strategy for data collection and training.
Exactly. And you still need skilled testers who understand how to interpret the AI's output, identify false positives, and ultimately make informed decisions about software quality.
All right, so it's not about replacing human testers altogether, but more about augmenting their abilities. We're talking about a collaboration between human expertise and AI.
Precisely. It's like giving your testing team a superpower. They can offload those tedious, repetitive tasks to the AI and focus on the things that require human intuition and creativity. Think of it designing complex test scenarios, evaluating user experience, or understanding the nuances of business logic. Those are areas where human insight is still irreplaceable.
I've heard whispers about platforms like AIinQA Cloud that are already putting these concepts into action. Can you tell me more about what they're doing?
AIinQA Cloud is a great example of how generative AI is being used to revolutionize quality assurance. One of their key features is automated test case creation. They claim their AI can reduce test creation time by up to 97%, which is a massive productivity boost. But what's really interesting is how they're using AI to generate realistic test data. This is crucial for ensuring that your software is tested under diverse conditions and can handle real-world scenarios.
So no more manually crafting those edge cases or trying to guess at what kind of data might break the system. The AI does the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly. And it's not just about generating random data. AIinQA Cloud's AI can analyze user behavior patterns and create data that mimics real-world usage, leading to much more comprehensive and effective testing.
Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. I've heard they even have a voice-based requirement feature, right?
Yes. Imagine being able to simply describe a test scenario out loud, and the AI translates that into a fully functional test case. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
It sounds like they're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI-driven testing. But for someone listening who might be feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this, where would you recommend they start?
A good first step is to take a close look at your current testing process. Identify the bottlenecks, the areas where you're spending the most time and effort, and then see if there are AI-powered tools that can address those specific challenges.
So don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. Focus on the areas where AI can have the biggest impact, and then build from there.
Exactly. And remember, AI is a tool, not a magic wand. You still need a solid testing strategy, a skilled team, and a willingness to adapt and learn as the technology evolves.
It's incredible to think about how quickly AI is transforming the landscape of software testing. Just a few years ago, this was all science fiction, and now it's becoming the norm.
It really speaks to the accelerating pace of innovation in the field. And honestly, we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. Now, as exciting as all this sounds, I think it's important to acknowledge that there are always going to be challenges when adopting new technology. We've talked about data dependency. But what about the human element? How do we ensure that testers aren't left behind in this AI-driven world?
That's a key concern, and I think the answer lies in shifting the focus of the testing role. Instead of viewing AI as a threat, we need to see it as an opportunity for testers to level up their skills and take on more strategic responsibilities.
So it's not about being replaced by AI, but rather about evolving alongside it.
Exactly. Think about it. If AI can handle the repetitive tasks like generating test cases and analyzing basic results, it frees up human testers to focus on the areas where their expertise is truly invaluable. We're talking about things like understanding complex user workflows, identifying edge cases that AI might miss, and ultimately ensuring that the software meets the highest standards of quality and usability. It sounds like a much more intellectually stimulating role for testers, one that requires a deeper understanding of both the technology and the user experience.
Absolutely. The testers of the future will need to be adept at collaborating with AI, understanding its strengths and limitations, and knowing how to interpret its output to make informed decisions about software quality. It's a whole new skill set that will be in high demand.
So it's not just about learning to code or becoming an AI expert. It's about developing a more holistic understanding of the entire software development lifecycle and how AI fits into that picture.
Precisely. And that includes understanding the ethical implications of using AI in testing. We need to ensure that these systems are developed and used responsibly, with a focus on fairness, transparency, and accountability.
That's a really important point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new technology, but we can't lose sight of the bigger picture. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to ensure that it's used ethically and responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. And that responsibility extends beyond just the developers and testers. It's something that everyone involved in the software development process needs to be aware of and actively engaged in.
Now, earlier we talked about Aqua Cloud as a leading example of a company using generative AI in testing. Are there any other companies or platforms that are worth mentioning?
Absolutely. The field is exploding with innovation, and there's some really exciting players emerging. One that comes to mind is DiffBlue. They're using AI to automatically generate unit tests for Java code. This is a huge time saver for developers and can significantly improve code quality.
So rather than writing tests manually, developers can simply feed their code into DiffBlue's AI engine and get a comprehensive suite of tests generated automatically. That's amazing.
It is. And it's not just about speed. These AI-generated tests are often more thorough and comprehensive than what a human developer would create, leading to better code coverage and fewer bugs.
Okay, that's impressive. What about security testing? Are there any AI platforms specifically focused on that area?
There are. Synopsys is a company that's doing some really innovative work in that space. They're using AI to identify potential security vulnerabilities in code, which is critical in today's world where cyber attacks are becoming increasingly sophisticated.
So it's like having an AI security guard constantly scanning your code for weaknesses. That's reassuring, especially as software becomes more complex and interconnected.
Exactly. And it's not just about finding known vulnerabilities. AI can also be used to identify new, previously unknown threats, helping to stay one step ahead of the attackers.
It sounds like AI is really transforming every aspect of software testing, from basic functionality to security and even user experience. It's incredible to think about the potential impact this technology could have on the entire industry.
It is. And as AI continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications in the field of software testing. The possibilities are truly limitless.
This all sounds incredibly exciting, but let's get practical for a moment. For companies that are considering adopting generative AI for testing, where should they begin? What are the key steps to ensure a successful implementation?
First and foremost, I'd recommend taking a step back and really understanding your current testing process. Identify the pain points, the areas where you're struggling the most, and then see if there are AI-powered tools that can address those specific challenges.
So don't just jump on the AI bandwagon because it's trendy. Have a clear strategy and make sure it aligns with your specific needs and goals.
Exactly. And remember, AI is a journey, not a destination. It's an iterative process that requires ongoing learning, adaptation, and refinement.
So be prepared to experiment, to fail fast, and to constantly learn and improve as you go. Don't expect to get it perfect right out of the gate.
That's right. And don't be afraid to seek outside expertise. There are consultants and service providers who specialize in helping companies implement AI-driven testing solutions. They can provide valuable guidance and support as you navigate this new terrain.
It's like having a Sherpa to guide you through the uncharted territory of AI. That makes a lot of sense. Now, we've talked a lot about the technical side of things, but what about the human side? How do you see AI impacting the role of the tester in the long run?
I believe AI will fundamentally change the role of the tester, but in a positive way. Instead of being primarily focused on manual testing and finding bugs, testers will become more like quality advocates, responsible for ensuring the overall quality and user experience of the software.
So it's a shift from being a bug finder to being a quality champion.
Precisely. Testers will need to develop new skills, such as data analysis, AI model training, and understanding user behavior, to effectively collaborate with AI and ensure the software meets the highest standards.
It sounds like a more strategic and impactful role, which is exciting.
It is. AI will free up testers from the mundane and repetitive tasks, allowing them to focus on higher-level thinking, problem-solving, and innovation.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. I feel like I've gained a much deeper understanding of the potential and challenges of generative AI in software testing. But before we wrap up this part of our depth dive, I have one final question. What advice would you give to someone who's feeling overwhelmed by all the hype surrounding AI and doesn't know where to begin?
That's a feeling I think a lot of people can relate to. My advice would be to start by educating yourself about the basics of AI and how it's being applied to software testing. There are tons of resources available online, including articles, podcasts, and webinars. Don't be afraid to ask questions and connect with others who are working in this field.
So it's about taking it one step at a time, learning the fundamentals, and building your knowledge gradually.
Exactly. AI can seem daunting at first,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately just another tool in the tester's toolkit. By embracing a curious and open mindset, anyone can learn to leverage AI to enhance their testing skills and deliver better software.
Okay, so we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into generative AI in software testing. It's been really incredible exploring everything from automated test case generation to AI completely transforming the role of the tester.
Yeah, and this transformation, it's already happening. Companies like Aqua Cloud and Diff Blue are really leading the charge, showing us the real impact of AI on software quality and how fast we can develop software.
I think we all want to know, what does this mean for the future of, human testers? Will AI eventually just replace human expertise? Or is there a way for both to coexist?
I really believe that AI will not replace human testers, but it will elevate their role. Imagine testers not doing those boring, repetitive tasks, and instead they can focus on the parts of testing that need human skills.
Right. Things like creativity, critical thinking, understanding how real users behave. AI can't really do that yet.
Exactly. It's a shift.
Yeah.
From just, doing the same thing over and over, to thinking strategically, to being a quality advocate, someone who can use AI to make software better and faster.
What advice would you give to new testers starting their careers? What skills should they work on to be ready for this future of testing?
Never stop learning. Things change so fast. Stay curious and be ready to adapt. Try new tools, explore new trends, always be learning and growing.
So don't just master the tools of today, be ready for the tools of tomorrow.
Yeah, and that means really understanding AI and how it's used in software testing. Learn the basics. Check out different AI platforms. Experiment. See how AI can make you a better tester.
Don't be scared of AI. It's a powerful tool that can help you do amazing things.
That's it. The future of software testing is humans and machines working together, and that will give us all better software.
As we finish up, think about this. What if all software was not just built faster, but it just worked better? No more bugs. Software that makes people happy, not frustrated. That's the future generative AI is helping to create.
That's a future worth working for.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into generative AI and software testing.
Remember, the future of software quality is up to all of us.
Keep exploring, keep innovating. See you next time.